Hello and what's up everybody, it's ThunderBob here, and tonight we are going to be playing some more Diablo 4. The very last video I did during that run, this dropped for me. This is the second unique item I've got while playing, and I was kind of hyped by it. I said, let's go ahead and try a fire build. I've pretty much run Chain Lightning or Lightning build almost the entire way through the game. So I said, let's check this out now that we have this new unique. I upgraded all the way up to the 5th level, and I swapped out a few pieces of gear from that previous video. So if you want to compare, like, I'm barely any more progressed from that last build. So this is like a good comparison from the Chain Lightning build, killing speed, to a Fireball build. And I've not put like an insane amount of thought into this. This is kind of off the cuff. I didn't have a ton of gear to replace, so this is not as optimized as if I'd spent more time playing as a fire the whole way through. But we're going to look at what gear I'm using, the skills I'm using, and we're going to try to do this dungeon relatively quickly here. So I got this Staff of Endless Rage upgraded all the way to level 5, which is pretty great for 57. I got these boots, which the imprinted thing on them serves no purpose for this build at all, but I didn't have any better boots because that Frost Nova is nice, the movement speed's nice, mana reduction. Same pants here. I did swap this out so I can have a second Hydra, which is sweet. You can get 2 Hydras up. I love Hydra. That's probably my favorite skill in the Diablo series, and I was kind of sad that I couldn't fit it into my Lightning build. So I'm kind of excited to try that out here. I've got this, just less damage from crowd control over vulnerable enemies, and with Frost Nova we are frequently making things vulnerable. You get a barrier, or actually when you have a barrier you have a chance to ignore incoming damage. I forgot to put a gem in this, but this gives me my my ultimate passive ability, and when it's active I have an incredible increased attack speed, which we're going to see how that plays out because I don't have a lot of mana. You can only do like 3 fireballs before I'm out of mana, though this will help me regenerate that mana. As long as I'm hitting 5 or more enemies, I do get some resources refunded, and typically I should be hitting more than 5. And then Prodigy Band, I get mana whenever I use a cooldown. This just helps me, keep using Fireball. And just to show you, that's what it looks like when it fires off. So 1, 2, 3. And then let's look at the build I came up with. Again, this is not completely optimized, but we got Firebolt here as my generator skill. 5 points in a Fireball, Enhanced Fireball. I'm going to go with this one for the critical strike damage. I'm not using, like right now I'm not setting this up as a burning build. I may try a quasi firewall build later, but I wanted to try just straight up Fireball and see how it works. I thought about going Flame Shield, but I just 6 seconds on Ice Armor and things are not one-shotting me. So I like Ice Armor a lot, plus you get the mana regeneration, which is nice. I can't play with that Teleport. I don't know how I would, so I went Teleport all the way down to the damage reduction, Frost Nova all the way down to vulnerability, 3 points in Glass Cannon. Hydra maxed out all the way down to the increased critical strike. These are just great survivability skills, and you got the lucky hit. And that unique thing gives me +3 to Inner Flame, so I deal 18% increased damage while I'm healthy. It's a pretty big boost. 30% increased critical damage against burning, crippling flames. Got all the passes except this one again because I'm not really focusing on burning with this build, and it was definitely hard to pass up Inferno, like, because you get that unlimited mana, but it's only once every 40 seconds. It's a long time. I can't figure out what to drop to put Inferno in here. It would probably be Hydra or maybe a Teleport, which I kind of want to play with both of those, so that's where I'm at right now. If you got a thought how to fit Inferno in this build, let me know. I can't drop Firebolt because, like, this is a much more mana costly build, I feel like, than that Chain Lightning build that I was using with a spender or a generator. I did just change up my Paragon briefly. Kind of the same here, down to these 2, and then I just got to the Legendary. Yeah, so that's where we're at. Let's go ahead and see how we do. And this is just my Tree of Shadow skill. Or not skill, my Tree of Shadow mission. Forgot to do my Hydras. And I'm just kind of like waiting on mana here, which after playing the Chain Lightning build where like my mana was mostly resolved, I just whiffed that Frost Nova. It's a little saddening. Again, I've not played this for 57 levels like I did the Chain Lightning build, so it's gonna take me a little bit of time to kind of get used to it. I only played for maybe 30 minutes before starting this video. And like when it really fires, like it does work pretty well. Like look at that, 5,000 damage, 7,000 damage crit. That's way higher. I think my Chain Lightning crits were maybe 3,000 damage. Of course, on a single target, Chain Lightning can hit 3 times with the setup I had, so it's a little harder to compare. I feel like this is better against groups of enemies, but it is probably not as good single target, though Hydra does make up a lot of that. Like, Hydra is dealing 4 heads, 2 Hydras, ooh, that was close. I was trying to do the math in my head and I almost died. Yeah, it's doing 700 damage, 4 heads, 2 Hydras. It's not bad. If I didn't find that unique, I probably would immediately go back to Chain Lightning just because I've been enjoying that build. But I kind of want to see if you can get this to work. One thing that's a little different, you know, Chain Lightning does a lot of the aiming for you, whereas Fireball, I feel like you need to get the enemies kind of into position to make it really work. And I am using my my cooldowns to regain mana because I've got that item that gives me 23 mana every time I use one. So I'm just kind of spamming my cooldowns. And overall, I feel like it's a little slower than the Chain Lightning build, but I feel like if I optimized this, I could maybe get it to work. Like, when I get the rotation down, I feel like it's not so bad. It's just remembering, okay, double Hydra, okay, Frost Nova. Like, I'm getting it. I would say it's a little simpler than the Chain Lightning build. Like, the Chain Lightning build took a little finesse, like you had to get the Crackling Energies, and you had to, you know, maneuver around the battlefield to make sure that you're hitting the right number of enemies, and like, I had to put a lot more thought into it, I think. But I also feel like I was reaching like the peak of what I could do with that Chain Lightning build. Hydra's pretty awesome, though. And when those... I am using the Fireball enchantment and a Frost Nova enchantment because I wanted to see how often my Hydras would proc it. And it doesn't seem like it's that frequent, so I might use a different enchantment for my my Fireball, for my for that Frost Nova. Over here. That third Fireball, like that room was faster than I could have done that on Chain Lightning, just because the positioning was like perfect. I kind of feel like this would work really well, like in the right dungeon, like a very high density dungeon, where there's not a lot of walls to stop your fireballs, or where you can kind of like maneuver them. Piece of candy. Stop moving. I'm not going to be able to kill this goblin, I bet, because I'm so used to the chain lightning. Where'd he go? Where'd he go? Get back here. There we go. And it's going to switch anyways. I think I need to move Hydra from 4 because that was always my least used skill when I was playing on my chain lightning source.
My name is I write this as I...
Alright, you need to be quiet. Yeah, it's a fun build. I think I'm going to toy around with this. For the next week, I'm going to have guests over, so I'm going to be playing mostly on like the Steam Deck. So I want to see how this build functions on the Steam Deck as well. I think maybe it could work better. Like, the Chain Lightning build definitely took a little bit more maneuvering and finesse, and this is just kind of a walk forward and throw the fireballs out kind of build. Oh yeah, like this is the spot where like Fireball excelled at. Though this is also the spot where Chain Lightning really excelled at, so it's kind of unfair. I feel like if you found the right dungeon, like the right density and like health on the enemies and stuff, Fireball could rip it. We'll see on the boss, though, because Chain Lightning was massive during bosses by the end there. Though I'm sure there might be some ways to improve your mana use on this build. I'm definitely going to have to play around with it. These are increased health guys. Because, like, I had just about every ability item that could improve my mana on the Chain Lightning build. So it's kind of an unfair comparison. I was wanting to try out Frozen Orb as well because I got a couple of good Frozen Orb items. That's really cool. It's just like a chain reaction. Part of it is because, you know, I'm using the Fireball enchantment, but now I've got 5 points in Fireball. So instead of Fireball doing, you know, 40% damage, it's doing 84% damage. So like when you kill one guy, it's enough to just wipe out the entire screen. Something to think about. But again, that's only really good when you're fighting kind of the trash. Like, it doesn't usually trigger on bosses. I'm gonna play around with it. I may stick with this one for a few days and see how I like it compared to the Lightning. Or, you know, if I get some really crazy drop, I could end up changing my build again. But that is a lot of fun. It's really just the crazy mana usage that's a problem right now. Guess I should go for that boss. And the immobilization rate is like crazy. 34.5% lucky hit chance. And Fireball's got a pretty decent lucky hit chance on top of that.
ready yet.
Oh, let me out. I'm gonna die. Because he had me. Like, that's where Flame Shield comes in handy, because it's unstoppable. That sucked. Alright, let's try that again. I don't think I died on my lightning source, even though I did get a little close. Do your Hydras benefit from the increased attack speed when you have both of the things active, I wonder?
I need time
There we go.
to prepare that.
What do these things do? I may also try out a burning variation of this, like with firewall. I just don't know if that would work well with the fireball setup. If you got any thoughts, if you've got a decent fireball build and you got any critiques, definitely feel free to comment below. I'm always open to suggestions or just people telling me that I'm stupid. You know, whatever floats your boat. And yeah, World Tier 3 boss done. I'm mixed on it. I'm gonna stick with it for a little while, see if I can optimize it more. Maybe in a week or so, or a couple of days, I'll do another video. But for now, I'm gonna end this. If you enjoyed this, please do feel free to check out some other stuff. I got tons of Diablo 4 content, Diablo 2, Diablo 1, I'm into virtual reality and other games. If you like what I'm doing, like, subscribe, and drop me a comment with your thoughts. Just thank you again for watching, everybody. Have a good night.